Today I have a very simple project for you. You can add it to any CNC machine you have. It don't have to be Dremel CNC, and it's very simple to make. You can make it for almost nothing, and that is the Z-axis probe. But as always, because I like over-engineering my projects and make them as perfect as I can, I will complicate few things. So let's start with things that we need to make this project. Here is everything that we need. Quite a lot of cables. This one is really flexible. It's a silicone cable. Here I have a normal standard cable, not sure which one I will use. We also need some cables with connectors like this. Those are used on a breadboard. And we need this to connect to the GRBL shield. We need one alligator clip so that we can clip it to the milling bit. A connector so that we can easily connect and disconnect the probe. And the material that you use, it's called laminate, I think. And this is what you use to make PCBs at home. There is copper on the top and some kind of laminate on the bottom. And we'll mill in it a probe basically that I already designed. So let's jump on the computer and let me show you my design. And here is the design. It's very simple. We have two pads, a large pad, that's where the milling bit will touch. And we have a small pad, and here we will solder the alligator clip that will connect to the milling bit. You could also just easily cut out a piece of that, solder one cable to this, connect another to the milling bit, and it would work fine. But with this design, it's quite simple, but hopefully it will be easier to use later. And you know, it's a little bit more professional. I already set it up, the milling. I have the pocket milling and contour milling. Let's see if it works fine. That's the pad for the alligator clip. And this is just a contour to make it look a little bit better. And this is a contour cut to cut out a piece from the laminate. Everything is fine, so we can start milling. But before we start milling, let me explain you how Z-probe works. Z-probe let us automate task of setting up the reference point on the Z-axis. That means setting up the 0 point according to our material. Previously for that I have been using a piece of paper, but that's not super precise method and it's not that fast, so automating that is a good idea, and it's also pretty simple to do. Here is how it works. We need to connect two cables to GRBL shield, one to SCL pin and second one to the GND pin. The other end of one of these cables should be connected to the milling bit, and the other cable to a piece of something that conducts electricity, for example PCB laminate. When the milling bit touches the copper, the circuit is closed and Arduino can detect that. Thickness of this laminate is set up in the control software of our machine, so it knows how to properly set the 0 point. That's it for the explanation, let's start milling. I have no idea about fits and depth of cut for this kind of material, never milled something like this on the Dremel CNC, so this is pretty much an experiment. I have no idea what will happen, can't wait to start, let's do it. It was so fast that I didn't even record a lot of milling, but here it is, just 5 minutes. Looks really nice, so we can solder the cables and connect that to the Dremel CNC. everything is connected. Right here in the control box we need to connect those two cables to SCL and the GND pin on the GRBL shield. It doesn't matter which one is which one. Then those cables are right here in this cable wrap and goes here next to the Z-axis motor. Then there is the connector so that I can easily disconnect and connect the probe. Here is the probe with the alligator clip that is connected to the probe. Those two cables are also soldered to the probe. And here the alligator clip is clipped to the milling bit. So that's pretty much it. Very simple setup, very clean. You can disconnect that for milling, which is cool. And now I will show you how to use this Z-probe in CNCjs. In CNCjs on the right side you can find a widget called probe, and obviously that's what we are going to use. And here are some settings that we have to change. First thing, probe depth, and this is how long it will search for the probe. So if your probe is 12 mm away from the milling bit and you have 10 mm right here, it wouldn't find the probe and it will signalize an error. So you can keep it at 10 mm and just make sure that your probe is within this distance. Probe feed rate, this is how fast you want to move to find the probe. 20 mm per minute is fine. Touch plate thickness, this is important settings that we probably need to change. You have to grab the caliper and measure the thickness of your probe. In my case this is about 1.5 mm. Yeah, that's 1.5 mm. So that's what I'm going to use right here. If you have different laminate, if you are using different material, put your value here. And retraction distance is how high you want your milling bit to go before milling and after searching for the probe. So I don't know, I will put like 5 mm here. And when you have everything set up, you can click Z probe and then run Z probe. Thanks to that, it will search for the probe and set up the 0 point on the Z-axis for you, so you don't have to do basically anything. Let's see if it works. Z-probe works fine, and here is how you normally would use it with the material. So here is the piece of material that I would like to mill in. The Z-probe is on the top of this material, everything is connected. So here in CNCjs again we click Z-probe and run Z-probe. And here it will search for the probe. Once it finds the probe, it set the Z height to, in this case, 6.5 because I have the retract set it up to 5 mm and the thickness of the touch plate is 1.5 mm. So that's how the Z-probe works. After finding 0 point on the Z-axis with the probe, I can just easily disconnect it and start milling without the probe. That's it for this very simple but also very useful project that you can make on your own for almost nothing, and you can add it to the Dremel CNC or any kind of CNC you have. In the description there is a link to my design if you want to make it. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel to don't miss my next projects. Thank you very much for watching, happy making, bye!